Hey Flosstube. If you are new, my name is Erica and I am here to talk to you about my stitching and not really sewing this week. I didn't sew anything. I take it back, I sewed a tiny little bit. I'll show you. And if you are returning, thank you so much. I'm so happy you are here. I am so excited to talk to you guys today. I always am. But no, seriously, this week I have amazing stuff to show. And I'm very animated. Like I never realized until I watched these videos I talk so much with my hands. Actually, I think I take it back. I used to teach for almost 10 years and I remember I was very handsy. I couldn't hold anything because I was always talking with my hands so much. And I'm wearing a nice Halloween shirt and even some blue skull leggings. And you'll see why. Because, I'll just tell you why. I'm gonna show off my new pattern I designed and it's Halloween related. Happy Mother's Day. Today's Mother's Day. So, to everyone celebrating Happy Mother's Day, and I know it's not an easy day for some of you guys, and my heart is with you. I have a lot of friends and family members who have lost their moms, and so I know that today is a very, very bittersweet day for them. So I hope you all are going to relax and enjoy it, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families. All I want to do today is drink and garden. I really don't drink very often. I like wine, and gosh, I started drinking more again when we first moved here. I didn't really drink at all from the time I met my husband, so almost 5 years ago to a year ago. I think I maybe had like 5 drinks total. And I started drinking wine more because I have really bad TMJ and I couldn't take muscle relaxants while I was pregnant or nursing, which was 3 years. Sorry, my mom texted me. And I started drinking because wine is like a natural muscle relaxant. So it was really nice, one glass and it would help my jaw relax. And I also just really like the taste of it. I really like red wine. It's not something I do very often, so it is a treat for me when I still do it. So I have a bottle of wine and I'm gonna garden all day. We have to do the whole front yard, so about 100 flowers, I'm guessing, maybe more, maybe less. We're doing it all direct seed. I have a couple flower transplants, but mostly it's gonna be direct sown. The backyard, I'm starting to harden off all of the vegetables. Today will be day 2 of hardening them off, so I'm really excited. Like, I have never really had a garden before. And of course, the one year I get into it, I go way overboard and I'm getting, you know, like 65 plant varieties, 30 just tomato and peppers. Like, nobody in my family even eats tomatoes. I don't know why I'm getting so obsessed with tomatoes. But it should be fun. So I do upload gardening videos if you're interested in that at all, once every week or 2. It hasn't been too often lately because there's just really been no progress. We haven't been able to plant outside until this weekend. Everyone waits till Mother's Day here. So but I do upload those. So if you're at all interested, you can see my progress, my seeds, my failures, what's taking off. I just ordered some more seeds. They were only $2.50 and they ship free. They're called Titan sunflowers and they get to 12 feet tall. How could you not do that? Like, my kids are gonna freak out. That's gonna be amazing to see. So that's my plan for today, is to garden. We're gonna set up the kiddie pool in the backyard and have popsicles. That's our big treat for the weekend. And Mommy will have some wine after dinner and sit outside and enjoy the beautiful day. It's supposed to be really nice here. So, getting into stitching. This shirt is like neon orange. It's so bright. So some of this is haul. I have just a little bit of haul because my 1, 2, 3 stitch order got in Tuesday, maybe Monday, I don't remember. But I'm starting my Halloween village. And so what I'm doing are these Mill Hill button and bead kits, and I'm doing them all on one cloth. And so I have tried a Mill Hill kit before and I stopped. It was a Christmas one. It's a gingerbread house, and I got like this teeny tiny part done, and it was right when I first got back into cross stitch, and it took me like way too long. So I just set it aside and I never used it again. This also has glow in the dark thread. You guys, I'm so excited. The pumpkin right there is a bead, a big bead, or a big button I should say, and then there's beading all throughout it, and then glow in the dark thread that really glows, like my son and I tested it out. So freaking excited. As usual, I probably did not leave enough of a border. I don't want to hear it. And you guys, so this is this whole thing. So I have a lot of space and I just lost some thread. Let me pick that up. I tend to leave threads and needles with whatever color I'm working on in there. so here's what I have so far. I did most of the roofing, so you can see there's the brown roof. Look at that beautiful pattern. There's more of the roof here, so this is all the second story. I've done all the dark blue and most of this light blue. I'm so excited to finish this and start working on the beading. I think it's gonna look amazing. I have had to rip out so much of this. Like, there was one stitch off on the last row of this roof, and then it threw off all of this, and then all of this. Oh, no, just all of this. And I had to rip all that out. I fixed that, I redid that. And then we get done here, and somehow I missed a stitch or something here, and so the rest of this was off, and then this was off. I had to rip all that out and do it again. Oh my gosh, I've had to rip so much of it out. But it's gonna look really cool because, like I said, I can't see what you guys can see. The house is really a lot of dark blue, and I've gotten all that done already. And so a lot of it's gonna be dark blue beads as well, but I'm so excited. And the border's not too bad. I am not doing the purple background. So you see all that purple in the sun? I'm not gonna do that because I want everything to look consistent. And the other, I haven't decided, I'm either gonna just do 2 more houses or I'm gonna do 6 and do 3 and 3. But either way, the other 2 or 5 that I do not have this purple background. And I want it to look like it's all like the same town. And so I'm not gonna do that. I will do there's a little, not an awning, I don't know what to call it, like a wrought iron fence on top of the roof, and there's a bat. I'm gonna do those. And I'm hoping that the sun's not the glow in the dark thread part, because I really want to do the glow in the dark thread, and I could probably work it in somewhere else. The other thing that it might be is the witch. She's like shooting her little wand and it goes kind of swirly. I think that might be the glow in the dark part. So, but pretty good progress, I think, for a week. Hopefully by this, okay, I'm not even gonna say that. I told myself, I said last week, like, oh, I hope to have this and this and this and this done. Well, guess how much I got done? None of it. So I'm not even gonna say it anymore. I'm still gonna say it. I hope by next week to finish the stitching on this, and then be ready to start the beading, because you're supposed to do all the stitching first and then you can start the beading. And I'm just so excited to start that. The pattern is pretty difficult to read. I mean, I think it's still beginner accessible, but I mean, I can like flash it real fast. It's just a lot. It's, you know, it's black and white, which most patterns are. It's a lot. And it is very easy to like misread a stitch or skip one. Okay, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where to put this stuff. What? It's on the ground. Okay, so, okay, oh gosh, I'm so excited. You have no idea, I'm so excited. Do you like my project bag? It holds my Jack Frost Tree Farm. Do you like it? Does it look nice? I made it. I made a project bag. I used the zipper for the first time. I sewn with vinyl for the first time, and nothing exploded. It's so amazing. And everything is like flawless. I'm in shock that I did this, you guys. Like, zippers seem so intimidating to me. And I didn't know you could just like cut a zipper. If it's too long, you cut it. And the zipper still works. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Honestly, I was as proud when I finished this as I was when I finished my first quilt. Because anytime you do something that you thought you could never do, or that seemed really hard and challenging, and then you do it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is amazing. And look at how this is cute. This is Riley Blake Fabulous. If the broom fits, fly it. Eat, drink, and be scary. Ghouls just want to have fun. Boo Crew. And look at the kitty cat. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love it. So, expect to see some of these in the shop. I had so much fun making these. And I've never used project bags before. And I kind of thought, like, what's the big deal? Like, you just, you know, something to put your threads in your pattern. No, it's a big deal. I am too embarrassed to show you. But if I could show you, I keep all of my works in progress on a shelf in my closet, and it's a disaster. Like, the cloth, the pattern, the threads, like, they're not even in Ziploc bags. They're just in stacks all in a row and they're kind of overlapping, and needles have fallen down on the floor before. So this is really, really nice to be able to have this like this. I do want to ask your guys' opinion. Please comment below and tell me. I chose this orange fabric. I wanted a solid color because I thought you would be able to see what's in the bag easier to have a solid color. But looking on Etsy, and everybody puts the busy pattern, the really fun pattern, behind the vinyl. My husband's like, no, you know, do the orange color so you can make it easier to see. And I was like, well, that's what I agree too, but everyone else does it the other way. So which way would you prefer it? Would you prefer to have the really fun, cute fabric inside, or a plain color? Now that I have it finished, I see that it would be nice to have the cute fabric inside, because that's what you're gonna see more often. I mean, when you're working on a project over and over again, like I'm gonna have this on my bed next to me or on the couch, I'm not gonna have it this side up. I'm gonna have it this side up. And you know, you'd still be able to see what threads are in there and whatnot. So I don't know, what do you think? Solid color or fun print behind the vinyl? But this has been way more useful than I ever expected it to be. So I totally get the appeal behind project bags now. I just can't believe it, you guys. And look at those mitered corners. That looks a little weird there. Let's see. Flawless. Oh my gosh. Oh, stuff's falling out. I shouldn't have unzipped it yet. But I've already been looking at some Star Wars fabric, Lord of the Rings, Americana, like cute little puppy dog and American flags and a little red truck. Lots of holiday ones, Christmas, Halloween, because that's pretty much all I stitch. And so it would be really cool to have one for all of my, you know, holiday projects. Like this Halloween house, the Halloween village, the Christmas village, like those are gonna be month-long projects. And so I need a Christmas one now. But right now I have the Jack Frost Tree Farm in there, Little House Needleworks. And I don't think I really got too much of this done in the last week. And this is one of those things where I was like, oh, I'd like to have this done by next week. And then I hardly touched it because my 1, 2, 3 stitch order came in and I was just like obsessed with doing that. I did work on this some though. I think last time I didn't have nearly as much snow done. And so I have almost all the snow done. And you can see, like I just need to put some tiny little trees there. I need to finish the border, but I ran out of this wagon wheel, Classic Colorworks, and I am not gonna rebuy that. I'm gonna get the DMC alternative because you cannot see the variegation at all. And so I just need to finish the border, which is gonna be super fast. Some of the snow, but even that's mostly done, I think. It might be completely done. And then the sign. So the center sign is going to have like a rectangle behind it. And it's supposed to be the same color as the snow, but I don't want it to be that white. So I think I'm just gonna do, this called for color was ecru and not white, but it was too close to the color of my fabric. So I changed it, and I might just do the ecru. Sorry, my mom's like blowing up my phone. My daughter, you guys wonder where I might get my anxiety from. And now my mom's gonna watch this, so I feel like I should watch what I say. My daughter has this little rash right here. I noticed it yesterday while she was eating, and it looks a lot worse this morning. It's like the size of a quarter, it's red, it's a little bit raised, and it has dark red flecks in it. It's so weird. So I sent it to my mom, and I think she's texted me like 8 times about it so far. I'm sure she's fine. It's just, she does not seem bothered whatsoever. It doesn't look like a bug bite, so, oh my gosh, there's like a needle straight up just sticking out right there. So that's my Jack Frost Tree Farm progress. And I did get, oh, I think I already took it out. Oh, maybe not. I'm gonna go into some of the haul a little bit so that you guys can see. Maybe, yeah. The next part of the series. This is part 2. Sorry about the glare. Douglas fir. And the cute little station wagon with like the faux wood paneling. I remember those. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but I remember them. So that's gonna go underneath the Jack Frost Tree Farm, and there's gonna be 3 squares underneath the big rectangle. Okay, so let me just put my project bag down on the floor. If you guys wanna see anything in particular, let me know too. I really, the size is pretty big. So I'll probably try to do some smaller ones. I think this is about 10.5 by 12. And you know, this is a decent sized project and it fits with room to spare. Now I don't have a hoop in here or Q-snaps. And I know some people like to put those in there. So I don't know, this seems like it's a really common size as far as what's selling on Etsy, but I wouldn't mind smaller bags too, just because like my small projects I stitch in hand, and like a smaller bag I could even fit in my freaking purse. And I could stitch anytime, anywhere. That would be pretty sweet. So if there's anything you guys want to see, let me know as far as fabric goes. It's really cute. Okay, last stitching project, and then we'll get into haul and a little bit of sewing and the giveaway. This is my very first cross stitch design. It's not much. It's pretty simple, but I wanted that because this happened before my 1, 2, 3 stitch order came in. And like I said, Halloween's like my favorite holiday. It's tied with Christmas. It's really, really, really like neck and neck tied. I love presents, but I like decorating for Halloween, almost maybe more than Christmas. And I go big for Christmas too. Like I was just looking at all of our Christmas lights in the garage the other day. Like we went overboard this Christmas. Our front yard, we're probably one of the most decorated houses on the block. But we have kids too, and so it's so fun for them to see we have everything. But I really love Halloween, and I hadn't stitched anything Halloween since I started getting into cross stitch again 6 months ago or so. And I couldn't wait another day for my 1, 2, 3 stitch order, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to design my own pattern. And so I did. It says, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be yours on Halloween. It's very simple. I finished it in 2 days. I think there's only 5 colors. Let's see, orange, white, purple, black, and yellow. Yep, 5 colors. I wanted to make it beginner friendly. I wanted to make it affordable. I wanted to make it quick. All of the things that appeal to me as a stitcher. Oh my gosh, I thought my mom was texting me again. So it's got this cute, I call it a little candy cane border. My friend's like, there's supposed to be yellow or candy corn. There's yellow and candy corn. I was like, yeah, there's yellow at the very bottom. But otherwise it's orange and white with these yellow cornerstones, and then these yellow stars, or maybe they're like magic, I don't know. They kind of go both, a little black cat. So very simple, but I love it so much. The pattern is in my Etsy shop, linked below. It's a digital pattern, so you get it immediately. It's super easy to read off of your phone. I prefer printed patterns myself, but I did this working off of my phone too, because I started using a software program in order to design these, and I saved it as a PDF, and I just pulled it up on my phone because we don't even have a printer here. And it's super, super, super easy. So I wouldn't probably get a really detailed pattern as a PDF, but for something like this, it's fine. It's so easy. So the link is below. If you like it, I would love it if you would purchase it. If people seem to like this, I have way more ideas. Way more. I have a huge list going. Oh my gosh, the next one I want to do is going to be freaking adorable. Like I said, this is pretty basic. I just really wanted to learn how to use the program to get familiar with it. I stitched this up, like this is I think the 3rd time that I stitched this, because the first time I didn't like the color purple, so I had to take that out. The second time I didn't like the border, so I had to take that out. And so then this is like, okay, I finally like it. And so it was a lot of, you know, I designed it on the computer and it looks really good, but then you actually stitch it up and it looks different than what you kind of had in your head or what you would assume looking at the pattern. So it does take a lot of time to, you know, to design things. I really appreciate designers more. And so I mentioned that I had a really easy idea for how to frame it and mount it. You guys, this is not even sewn on, this is taped on. Taped on fabric. I don't know what I was thinking. I cut this so freaking close to the border, you guys. Why? I don't know why. I have literally no idea what I was thinking. I did try to put this on sticky board first. That's what happened. I had a 5x7 frame and I thought that this would fit in there, and it did, but it cut off, like this border was right against there, and I was like, okay, I don't like this. And so I took it off the sticky board, which I shouldn't have. And I don't know what went through my brain, and I just cut it. So don't do that. This would look really cute if you put it on sticky board, just to give it a little bit of a dimension, and then either put a magnet on the fabric, or just sew it on the fabric or tape it on the fabric. Like, it does not have to be hard. You guys know I have not fully finished anything in months of stitching because I just get so overwhelmed with thinking like it has to be perfect, it has to be, no, you guys, you can literally tape it on fabric and put it in a frame and it looks amazing. And so this frame I could reuse for every holiday, 4th of July, Christmas, it doesn't matter whatsoever. And it's just fabric that I literally taped. I could not have been any easier. I got it done in 2 minutes. Now, would it look cute with maybe a Halloween bow here? Absolutely. Or maybe some ribbon behind this if it was on not foam cord, sticky board. Yeah, it would. But I didn't have time for all that. So there it is. I need to think of a hashtag too, because this is not going to be my last design, you guys. And so I would love it if you guys tagged me on Instagram or Facebook so I can see if you're stitching my designs, and that would make me so freaking happy. So maybe just Stitching with Erica. I don't have a shop name. Like, I can't think anything cute. And my Etsy shop is the one I've had for like 10 years. So it's just, I think it's just Erica D House, same as my YouTube. So anyways, that's it. I have to sell 10 of them to pay for the software program I bought to make this. So if I do that, if I sell 10 patterns, I will consider this a huge success and get to designing more. And actually, speaking of that, I have 2 ideas. I want to do stitching Christmas or Halloween in June because they have Christmas in July. Why can't we have Halloween in June? And my goal for June is going to be, I'm going to be working on my friend Christine's. She picked out a Halloween pattern for me to do for her as a thank you for getting me a sewing machine. I'm going to start working on that one next week. I just ordered the patterns, which should be here from Backorder Shop. And I'm going to be working on my Halloween Village, my Mill Hill. So I'm going to be stitching a lot of Halloween already in June. Yay! But my goal is also going to be to release one new Halloween pattern every week of June. Which is a lot because, like I said, I have to stitch them up first, and they don't just stitch up like easily because I end up changing colors or adding things or taking away things. But I don't anticipate designing anything that's going to take a month to stitch. Like most of the stuff that I do, I think I could probably have it stitched up in a week, working on it for maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. So that's my goal. I don't have a cute hashtag for that, but I want to do some sort of Halloween in June with stitching and release one new pattern a week. And continue working on my Halloween project. So if you want to join in with me, let me know. And I'm going to try to think of like a hashtag or something. And then for July, I'm going to do Stitchmas in July. Isn't that cute? I thought so. And I looked on Instagram. No one's ever used that hashtag before. But doesn't it sound like it should be like perfect Stitchmas in July, stitching in July. And I'm going to just do Christmas. I'm going to look this week and find 4 new Christmas patterns to start in July. And that's going to be my Stitchmas in July. And I'll start one new one a week, and then they should all be done by Christmas time. So they're not going to be anything huge, nothing extensive. If you want to stitch the same ones as me, I will announce next week which patterns I'm going to do. I just haven't really had time to look around and decide. Or just stitch anything Christmas. If you have stuff from your stash, pull it out, start stitching on it. Stitchmas in July. And we're all gonna do it together. I think it sounds so fun. Okay, so the little tiny bit of haul basically is just, I got some of my favorite lamb's wool 14 count Aida, some classic Colorworks. I don't even know why I bought these at all. Barn Door, you know, I got the Douglas fir pattern, and this doesn't go to it. This doesn't go to anything. Like, I don't know if I made the order when I was half asleep or what. English Ivy. Now this one does go to that Jack Frost Tree Farm. Oh, it's so pretty. But this one doesn't. I have no idea why I bought it. And I also got one more pattern for my Christmas Village. I'm doing the Hometown Holiday Series by Little House Needleworks. And I got the Christmas tree lot. So cute. So I think I have 7 of these now, and I haven't even started them. Y'all know, or if not, you know now, I don't like to have a lot of whips. It makes me anxious. So right now I have like maybe 4. I don't even know if I have 4. I might just have 3. When I get finished with one, I'm going to start my friend Christine's Halloween one. And then when I get finished with the next one, I'm going to start this big hometown holiday series. And this will take me up through, I mean, I don't know how long. My goal is to finish it by Christmas. I'm sure that I can, but it is going to be, 7 of these things. And I could if I really wanted to, I could get one of these done a week. And the whole thing I want to do is 9. And so I could get it done in 9 weeks, but I really don't want to have to put that kind of pressure on myself because there's so many other things I want to stitch. Okay. So the only sewing related thing, well, I guess that my project bag was sewing related. I said I wanted to have this done and it's not. This is my latest wall quilt and I cannot decide how to quilt it. I was going to do diamonds, but then I think that's just too much. It's too many geometric shapes, a bunch of diamonds on top of a bunch of triangles and a bunch of squares. Like it was looking too busy. And so I did add this 2-inch white border because I didn't want the binding. I'm gonna do a pink binding to match this. It looks so good. And it's the back. I have the quilt sandwich done. I've got the batting and the top and the backing and it's all pinned together. I just literally could not decide how to quilt it. So I think what I might do is just quilt like a 1/4 inch around the main design and that might be it. And not actually quilt the center of it at all. Here, oh gosh, my back. I'll stand up so you can see it. It's just so, I think it's just so perfect as is. I just don't want to add, too much to it that makes it really busy. Like even with this pineapple wall quilt that I did, I only stitched on the white lines. I didn't stitch in the pineapples at all because they were so perfect to me. Like I didn't want to, not necessarily mess them up, but I just didn't want to take away from them because they were just so nice already. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do that. Just quilt around the big square. And that's it. Okay, so the giveaway for last week, was this Through the Seasons pattern. And the question was, what do you guys do while you're watching Flosstube? And I loved reading your answers. Most of you stitch as well. Some of you clean or cook. Some of you watch them in the morning while you're drinking coffee. Somebody was watching me while they were overlooking the beach, which I don't appreciate. I miss the beach so much. But this really cute pattern goes to Judy Schafman, Schafman. So if you could just email me, my email's below, erica@ericadhouse.com. And I am so sad, but I think I'm gonna have to change my email. So I don't know if I've really talked about this too much. I used to have a health and fitness blog. I started it back in 2012 and it was ericadhouse.com. It was my main source of income for 2 years. Like it got fairly popular. I think at the height, I was getting maybe 35 to 40,000 views a month. And I would get paid by brands and companies to review their products or just talk about them. I got so many free vacations, you guys. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. I got to go to Providence, Rhode Island. It was when I was pregnant with my son, actually. I think I was like 25 weeks pregnant with him. And go tour. They had like this world championship sailing competition. And there was one team there that was all female. And they wanted me to go and highlight the team and talk about the race and the experience. And it was amazing. And like half of them were Olympic athletes. And I got to tour the boat and meet them. And it was just unbelievable. I got a week in a cabin for spring break for free in Tennessee, and I took me and my dad, we went hiking for the week, and it was amazing. Such good experience and memories. 2 trips to Chicago, free. I mean, and this stuff just doesn't happen to people like me. I mean, I was just like this normal average girl living in Pensacola, Florida, and then here I am getting like these free trips everywhere. For Chicago, I was an ambassador for Premier Protein. The shakes are freaking amazing. They're really good. And they flew me up there to shoot a commercial twice, I think. I had to have been twice because I don't think I went up there for anything else. Amazing hotel. And this was also when I was pregnant with my son. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Trying to think of anything else really cool. I went to a couple blogging conferences and I think those were mostly paid for. A couple trips to New Orleans that were free. I lived 3 hours away, so I drove, but the hotel was free. I think a trip to Savannah was free. St. Augustine, amazing. Like, and there are times that I miss it. But the reason why I really stopped doing it was because when my son was born, my husband and I kind of agreed to keep him pretty private, like to respect his privacy, to not share his name online. At first, we did share his photos. And then when he was maybe 3 or 4 months old, someone emailed me one day and they said, hey, this woman has stolen your son's photos and is posting them saying that that is her son. And the reason why I know this is I did a reverse image search on Google and I found you. And I have been watching this lady because she's done this to some other bloggers that I follow and stolen their kids' photos and pretended that they were hers and then pretended the baby died when her family started saying, like, well, let's meet your child. Like, let's see him. We have never met this baby. And oh, sorry, he died. So I go to her profile and literally every single photo I'd ever shared of my son on my blog, she had taken and posted and made up a story like, oh, we went to do this today for the first time, isn't he so sweet, and blah, 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 made up a name for him. And I was like, oh, hell no. You do not mess with a mama's babies. I contacted Facebook and said, this woman is stealing my pictures. She is claiming that this is her son, and it's not. They wouldn't take it down. The only way, I finally got, like, tons of my friends were contacting Facebook, and I talked to a couple friends who were lawyers, and they were like, the best case scenario, the best course that you could take is to get her for copyright infringement because she's stealing your photos and claiming that they're her own. So it's not that she's stealing his identity, but that she's stealing your artistic property. And so I contacted Facebook again about that, and they shut her down. But so after that happened, I went and deleted every single photo I'd ever posted of him and never shared about it again. And so that was kind of the beginning of the end of the blog for me, because the blog, even though it was health and fitness focused, it was still a lot about my life. Races I was training for, which I ran like 3 marathons the year before my son was born. And then after I had a kid, I couldn't train like that anymore. I don't have time to run 50 miles a week. So I wasn't training as much. I wasn't traveling as much, and then now I couldn't share this huge part of my life. So it just it started to go downhill, and then I just cut it off completely like 2 years ago. Anyways, all that to say, I might have to change my email soon because I have still kept that same email for 7 years, but I have to pay like over $100 a year just to keep this Erica@EricaDHouse email. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to keep paying for it just because the thought of having to switch every single social media account and online registration to a new email is like overwhelming. Like, think about how many things that you sign into with your email. Fat Quarter Shop, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, like literally everything is with this old email that I've had forever. I just don't know if I have the patience to go through and change it, but I really don't want to keep it for $100. So anyways, that was a tangent. This week's giveaway is one of the cross-stitch magazines I got in my eBay lot that I purchased. Let me see if I can find, I should have marked it as usual. Oh, here it is. This is probably my favorite pattern out of the whole magazine. How sweet is that? Little beehives and flowers. So, so, so cute. I almost wanted to keep this for myself, but I just know realistically it would be probably next year before I could even get to that. And it's still tempting to just do it next year. Ooh, and I like this one too. This doorway reminds me of a house in New Orleans. Guess they just had a series about doorways. This is the 1999 issue of Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. So if you would like to win this, comment below. Oh, I'm glad. I've wrote down the question beforehand, so I didn't have to just like sit here and I don't know what to ask. What style of a stitcher are you? Like, what patterns do you like the most? Primitive, vintage, like 90s, ish, stuff like this, or modern stuff? I'm always trying to think of new ideas of patterns I want to design, and I know what I like, but I wonder what the majority of people like, because it seems like a lot of people in Flosstube now really like the primitive style, which I think I don't know if I would classify this as primitive, because there's nothing really primitive about it. the font maybe a little bit. But I definitely don't think it's modern. I also meant to say, I stitched this on my 14 count lambswool, which is like my favorite ever. But I think that this would look really, really good, if not better, on a really dark fabric like Cafe Mocha or something like that. I think I might have some ordered actually. So if you have something dark, the colors will really pop, especially like the yellows. And I just feel like the really dark mottled fabrics look really good for Halloween designs. So yeah, so if you can tell me what kind of stitcher or what kind of patterns do you like, that will enter you to win this. Please make sure that you like the video and subscribe. It would be awesome if you followed me on Instagram, Erica D House. I post a lot about my gardening and stitching and, you know, progress stuff there. And let me know if you guys want to do a Stitchmas in July or something for Halloween in June. I gotta think of a cute hashtag for that. But my goal will be to release 4 Halloween related cross stitch designs in June. Again, all fairly small. And I have 2 of them designed in my head already. They're so amazing, so amazing. A little spoiler, one of the designs is going to be done completely using one color of Classic Colorworks variegated floss. That's like a blackish purple. And that's it, just the one color. And then all like black and purple, like all blending in together. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's gonna look amazing. So I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And oh, here, this is my another thing I had an idea on. It looks awful. I cannot draw at all. Like, it's stick figures and it's so bad. I'm gonna start working on some more project bags. I have a cart full of stuff at Fat Quarter Shop already with lots of zippers. I already have enough vinyl to make like 20 of them. Like I said, I'm gonna look for some cute Americana fabric since 4th of July is coming up, and much more Halloween fabric because that's just one of my favorite holidays, and some geeky stuff, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I've been rewatching the Harry Potter movies lately. I joined the School of Magical Stitches and Literature, and then this big drama happened and a lot of people left and started, I can't remember the name of it, the Stitchy Quest to win the ring or find the ring or something. It's Lord of the Rings related. Oh my gosh. I just rewatched all of those movies in the last week. So good. Christine was like, oh, those movies are awful. And I was like, well, don't ever talk to me again because I can't be friends with you. Those movies are amazing. Okay, now to be fair, I told her, maybe 50% of the reason why I like those movies so much is Viggo Mortensen. Because Viggo as Aragorn is one of the sexiest fictional characters ever. Until he smiles. Oh my gosh, he has the worst smile ever. Oh, it's so awkward. Like, and he smiles a couple times in the movies, and every time it's like, ooh, don't do that again. Just be broody and forceful and kill things. Like, that's a good look for you, not so much the smiling. Okay, I'm gonna go. I've got lots of gardening to do. I will post a garden update this week because so much has happened in the garden just since the last update I did. And I will see you guys again next week.